Hi there, viewers. A warm welcome to you. Thank you for joining the live chat session. Two very important news stories for you today. It seems that this month is going to be very critical for peace and stability in the Horn of Africa. Ethiopia, Somalia, Somaliland, Sudan. For all of them, this month, June, is very critical, it seems. Let's start. Let me welcome the participants. Then a quick look at the two topics. Dark Star did not ask a question. He says, greeting Sajid, no question today. How is Dark Star? Now architects join too from Addis Ababa. Mel Gabriel says, Obo Sajid Akam. It means Oromi for greetings. Okay. Gamacho Gole says, hi Akam Jirta Sajid. By the way, the Oromo viewers, why aren't you writing anything for News Addis? Most of the articles which I am receiving are from Amharas or pro Amhara narratives are visible in these articles. Where are Oromos? I mean, you are a part of the channel, you watch me. So why don't you write about what you think? Because it has been said that you are in power now. That Oromos are in power in Ethiopia. That Amharas are in danger. Your viewpoint is missing on News Addis so far. Stigo Tube says Ethiopia halted the agreement with Somaliland. No. Nahom says, what announcement from Abiy and Wonderlands awaits us? Tamine Dugna joined after some time. I think I did not see the viewer in recent days. Koriam, welcome back. Alim Gizao, first member who joined right on time today. How are you, Alim? Second one is Yamasgan. How are you, Yamasgan? Gamacho is far away from Romeo, but still you can write. Mel Gabriel says the current Ethiopian ambassador to Saudi Arabia once said the Oromos have no cause to oppose Abiy. Still they are opposing Abiy. Ola is fighting. What did Dandia say? He's in Oromo, I think. Lilo, hi Sajid, I want to ask you about clear view of TPLF with Abiy, what next will do. Well, you know what is next. I mean, where they announced it publicly. He said by the end of first week of June, issue of Salamti and Rai will be settled. By the end of first week of July, issue of Volkai will be settled. So Tigray will make moves in a collaboration with federal government towards Salamti and Mera Volkai said. Peace for you, says Sajid. You look wonderful. I am tired about this conflict. The whole Ethiopia needs peace first for 1 month. God help us. Yeah. Problem is that those issues which should not create conflicts become controversial, like port access. I mean, no one was expecting this conflict last year. Ethiopia raised this issue and it was the start of a new conflict. And now you know that Ethiopia, Somalia, diplomatic relations cut off, Somaliland campaigning for recognition. So one after the other, we're seeing new conflicts, internally, externally. Let's start, viewers. We'll keep the live chat short today. Two main news stories. We have been waiting to hear from Ethiopia about the implementation of MOU because in recent weeks, whatever was said by the MOU implementation was said by Somaliland. Ethiopia remained totally silent. But it seems now it's Ethiopia's turn to speak. A policy statement, a big announcement by Ethiopia today. Secondly, viewers, in Ethiopian, Eritrean neighborhood, we're going to see weaponization, huge weaponization. Russians coming, reportedly Americans trying to stop them, Iranian weapons arriving as well. So what is happening in Sudan? UMass Sajid Amhara Fano is doing amazing job on the ground. For the most part, it's going their way. People of Amhara is working with them by listening. Going their way, I mean, how long will they take to reach Addis Ababa? This is the question. Will they just continue fighting forever? Is there an end? Or how long will they take to accomplish their goals? Will they be like Ola? These are the questions. Yes, I've been saying they are stronger, they are bigger, Fano groups, more commanders, more experience. But when will it end? Will it ever end? Chief of Hamas has pre-recorded. What does it mean, Chief of Hamas? You wrote that yesterday as well. Are you saying the live chats are pre-recorded? Which are live chats, basically. Nothing is pre-recorded here. Sigor Tube says, really, do you think that Oromos are in power despite the fact that 60% of Oromo is in a state of emergency? That is why I'm saying that Oromo should tell their position, their narrative. Their narrative is missing. Their point of view is missing on news ads, I think. Now, Girme is saying, Mr. Sajid, don't add fuel on the burning grass. You always agitate for crisis, especially on Tigray aspects. You see, these people want to stop me from reporting about developments in Ra. I don't know why. If I tell that Tigray fighters are taking control of Ra, they say you are adding fuel to the fire. They don't want anyone to report. Why? Because they want Tigray fighters to silently take control of entire Ra. I am not fueling the conflict, but let me speak. You are here to speak. All day, people like you tell lies in comment section. I don't ban them. They don't apologize. They don't make corrections. And I'm not allowed to speak. I take responsibility for my words. I make corrections. I give you updates. And some people, they tell lies. It's a propaganda. They don't make corrections. They just leave all day. They write same comments. I tolerate them. You question my content. You have every right. Don't just tell me to stop. I won't stop. Agenda selection on my vision news is independent. No one can influence it. Whether you're from Tigray, Amhara, Oromia, Somalia, Somaliland, government, opposition, no one can influence the agenda selection here. Sam joined to a member. Welcome, Sam. Darni says, I win no Russian naval base in Eritrea. I should be given an honorable membership, fees paid for life. Well, if you give assurance that Russians will never establish a naval base in Eritrea, you are entitled to all these benefits, but you never know. Uh, Maybe Russians want presence in more than one countries. Let's start viewers. Big announcement by Ethiopian Minister of Transport today. Alam Moseme, I think it's from the Oromia region. The man has been leading Ethiopian government's policy about uh, use of more ports, not just rely on one port in Djibouti. And he's the one who visited ports in Kenya, ports in Somaliland. And he's the one who struck a deal, who led talks with Kenya after that Ethiopia started using Amphion Sigai, a Lamo port in Kenya, fertilizer already being imported there. So he's the man who's in charge when it comes to decision making about port use. He presented 9-month performance report of his ministry to House of Representatives today, and there he talked about the MoU with Somaliland. We have been waiting for Ethiopia to speak because in recent weeks we heard from Somaliland that technical committee had been formed. It was going to submit its recommendations to the MPs in Somaliland, that a British law firm had been hired, that 3 likely venues for Ethiopian naval base had been finalized. All that was said by Somaliland. There was total silence on Ethiopian side. And by the way, I think Bloomberg reported a few months ago that Ethiopia was already withdrawing from one part of the MOU, and that is recognition of Somaliland. Somaliland always said that no, the day Ethiopia gains access to sea through Somaliland, the same day, recognition by Ethiopia. Ethiopia recognized Somaliland as a country. It will happen simultaneously. So, big statement from Alamo Sima today. He said that the MOU signed with Somaliland would realize Ethiopian dream of gaining access to sea. Ethiopia will materialize its dream of gaining access to sea through the MOU. So he made it very clear that Ethiopia is fully committed to implement the MOU. Ethiopia wants access to sea. MOU will be implemented. Secondly, he said, "For up these here," and now he'll not just listen to me. He'll just start speaking, criticizing Ethiopia. You can criticize Ethiopia, but let others speak too. Just give a listen to my talk too. Then let's talk in a manner in which we can learn from each other. Raise questions which we should find answers to. So and Alam Osima said that this MOU implemented with Somaliland would lead to start of new era of prosperity and interconnectedness, interdependence in the Horn of Africa. Big announcement by Alam Muslim saying that yes, MOU will be implemented. Ethiopia will gain access to sea. Did not talk about recognition of Somaliland as a country. But we heard from Dr. Isa Kaid, Somaliland's Mr. Foreign Affairs, a month ago. He said that the day Ethiopia gains access to sea, Somaliland will get recognition as a country by Ethiopia. And today, U.S. Senate Committee on Foreign Relations member Jim Risch spoke to. He criticized Joe Biden government. He said that Somalia is threatening to expel Ethiopian troops. So Biden government should review its one Somalia policy. US foreign policy about Somalia is one Somalia policy. US does not recognize Somaliland as a separate entity. But lawmakers, senators in US, UK, they are saying that the Western players, America, Canada, will have to take into account the reality on the ground. Reality is that Somaliland has been operating as a separate entity for 3 decades. I think the statement given by Hussein Sheikh, the Somaliland's national security advisor, about expulsion of Ethiopian troops backfired. Because US has invested in this war against Al-Shabaab. It does not want this war to be hurt, to be impacted because of Ethiopia-Somalia tension. But Somalia is ready to expel Ethiopian troops. Why? Because of the MoU. Yes, it will impact the war against Al-Shabaab, but Somalia is ready to pay the price. US is not ready. That is why Blinken called Hassan Sheikh. And by the way, Hassan Sheikh made some big decisions in recent weeks. I think timing of these decisions is not right. Decisions could be right, but not the timing. I mean, he led constitutional amendments. One person, one vote was introduced. I support this change. Yes, one person, one vote should be supported. But that angered Puntland. So in a way, he lost Puntland. Then the National Security Advisor, Hussein Sheikh, said that by the end of this year, all Ethiopian troops will have to leave Somalia. That angered Southwest State. Southwest State internal security minister issued a statement indirectly rejecting federal government's position. So Puntland is a little alienated too. What is Hassan Sheikh doing? I mean, if he wants to stop Ethiopia from gaining access to sea through Somaliland, he should be focused on one point agenda only. He should have deferred these constitutional amendments. He should have tried to get internal unity in Somalia to pose a joint front against Ethiopia. That internal unity is missing. Ethiopia has managed to penetrate Somalia. Puntland announced to work independently after the constitutional amendments. Somaliland already operating independently. Southwest State says that it wants Ethiopian troops to stay. I would say Hassan Sheikh made some blunders. To continue receiving support from outside, from inside, he'll have to stick to one point agenda. If he wants to stop Ethiopia, that will stop Ethiopia. And he'll have to find allies internally, externally. It seems that in coming weeks, we could see progress towards the implementation of MoU with Somaliland, between Ethiopia and Somaliland. So I say this month is crucial for peace and stability. What will Somalia do? Some Somaliland activists say that in the second week of this month, we could see big announcements. So let's see what happens this week, this month rather. Diplomatic campaign that Somalia launched 2 months ago, I think it will have to relaunch that campaign, not just diplomatic campaign. It have find real allies. They have to talk to Turkey too very clearly that what will Turkey do in case of Ethiopia trying to get access to sea through Somaliland. Somaliland adamant, Ethiopia adamant. What will Turkey do? Any use of giving away Somalia's undersea resources to Turkey if Turkey does not want to intervene to support Somalia in case of confrontation with Ethiopia? There should be clarity. Lil, I'll talk about state of emergency tomorrow. By the way, when will state of emergency expire officially? Hasn't it expired? I mean, the state of emergency was extended on the it was 4 month extension. I think it was February, if I'm not wrong. Was it 4 month or 6 month? I think it was 4 month extension. And on the 2nd of February, Ethiopian Parliament extended. Voting was held on the 4th of or the 2nd of February. It was February, if I'm not wrong. 4 month extension. So when will 4 months come to an end? Today it was 4th of June coming to an end. It means that maybe state of emergency has ended. But since no extension, it means that it has ended. Now, Home Architect says, I refuse to believe all these incidents are isolated. Abi, Isaias, Hassan, UE, and West are doing something fishy and they are playing the people, and I believe they are working in accordance. Well, it's a very interesting theory. If you could explain it. I wish you could write about it, by the way, because it's a very interesting theory you're mentioning. Yeah, Lilo, it was 4 month extension. I think 4 months have passed. So officially, state of emergency has ended. And since it has not been renewed, so we can say it has ended. Come on, Farabdi says, Sajid, you said MOU will be implemented in January. I did not say that. I only reported statements of Ethiopian and Somalian authorities. They mentioned the time frame, if you remember. They said within a month or 2 months, the implementation will be done. It could not be done. I never said that it was my analysis. Yeah, responsibility. We are the free problem of our own. I think people are just victims. I mean, ruling elites make decisions and they're not held accountable. They can do what they want to do. Abiy can raise any issue at any time, his kitchen cabinet behind him. So, no real people's representation in decision making. Tourism media says I came late. What is the new announcement about Ethiopia-Somaliland? Alam Seme announced today at the parliament that Ethiopia is going to realize its dream of gaining access to sea through the implementation of MoU with Somaliland. Briefly, Abdi Karim, it is about Ethiopia gaining access to sea through Somaliland. Minister of Transport of Ethiopia today made it clear in the parliament that Ethiopia will implement the MoU. It will gain access to sea and it will be the start of new era. So after silence of a few weeks, now Ethiopia is clearly saying that it will implement the MoU. No time frame given though. Now, secondly, Viewers, last topic, second and last topic is about uh, weaponization in Sudan. Iranian weapons arriving in Sudan. We know that Iranian drones in use in Sudan. I think a senior Sudanese minister was in Iran a few days ago. Now, Malik Agar, deputy chairman of Sudanese Sovereignty Council, is in Russia, meeting with Putin, the Russian president. Russia sent a senior delegation to Sudan a month ago. The senior delegation wished in talks with Sudanese military to revive a deal signed by Russia and Omar al-Bashir, former Sudanese ruler. The deal was about Russia establishing a naval base in Sudan on the Red Sea. Talks were held, and now Malik Agar is in Russia. What will Al Burhan get in return? Yeah, it was the 2nd of February when, Fantaun, you're right. It was 2nd of February when state of emergency was extended for 4 months. Today it was 4th of June. It means 4 months have passed. And by 4 months, what is the meaning of 4 months? 120 days? So, Malik Agar is in Russia. What is he talking about in Russia? What does Burhan government want from Russia? Weapons. Burhan government wants more weapons, modern weapons from Russia to use against RSF. Russia wants to establish a naval base in Sudan. Let's see, will they reach a deal? Americans are trying to create a government in Sudan. They want Al Burhan and civilian groups to join and form a coalition. Like there was a coalition, not coalition, but a government with participation of politicians and journals in the form of Sovereignty Council. Americans have given this task to William Ruto of Kenya to create this type of setup in Sudan. Russians coming in, they are saying we're going to give you weapons. Let us let Russia establish a naval base. So it's a very interesting situation. I think we'll see weaponization of Sudan, more weaponization. Already Iranians here, UAE here. Now we'll see Russians arrive indirectly through weaponry. Americans going to they try their best to stop Russia from establishing a naval base in Sudan. Can they do it? Let's see. Be better, says Sajid. Uh, why aren't you giving us a map breakdown of war? Because fronts change all the time. I mean, the fronts active today will be silent tomorrow. So it's difficult to give updates about the conflict in Amhara. So 32 minutes have passed. I think we should end this live chat session. I would end the live chat by saying, by repeating myself, month of June, very critical for peace and stability in the Horn of Africa. Big developments going to happen in Somaliland, Somalia, and Sudan. Ethiopia is obviously linked to some extent Eritrea as well. Thank you for watching. Stay blessed. I'll be back tomorrow. It was good to be with you. Always good to be with you in live chats. Stay blessed. Bye bye.